There is an inner silence that is not the absence of sound. It is the absolute presence of God. When the noises of the outer world finally go quiet and the turmoil of your conscious mind slows down, something grand and invisible begins to operate in the depths of your being. Dr. Joseph Murphy dedicated more than 4 decades to teaching an undeniable truth. Human suffering is not a divine punishment, nor a condemnation of fate. It is merely the direct result of the noise and conflict you carry in your deep mind. Most people spend their entire lives trying to solve material problems by fighting against matter. They cry out against the lack of money, weep over the absence of health, and despair before the uncertainties of tomorrow. However, the true secret to disarming any pain will never be found in the external struggle. The real solution dwells in the recollection of the spirit, in the ability to calm the inner storm, so that the wisdom of the subconscious mind can emerge. When you learn to silence your soul, you turn off the alarms of fear and allow infinite intelligence to assume command of your existence. It is precisely at this point of stillness that healing happens, that financial pathways open, and that all suffering completely loses its power. Think about this for a moment. Your subconscious mind is God's fertile soil within you. It does not argue, it does not judge, and it does not question the quality of the seed you deposit into it. If you sow thoughts of scarcity, anxiety, and bitterness, this divine soil has no other option but to germinate those exact conditions in your physical reality. However, the instant you introduce silence into your soul, you interrupt the planting of destructive seeds. Silence is the language through which divine wisdom communicates with man. It is not a passive or empty silence, but a stillness charged with fertile expectation and conviction. In October 1958, in the city of Chicago, young Evelyn Vance was facing one of the darkest periods of her life. At 34 years old, carrying the recent grief of a painful divorce and an accumulation of back rent that threatened to leave her on the street, Evelyn's body began to show signs of collapse. Her hands trembled constantly, and a sharp chest pain accompanied her from the moment she woke up on the cold sheets of her small apartment. Every night, Evelyn lay listening to the pitter-patter of rain on the window pane and spent hours mentally reliving every bitter conversation, every missing scent, and every diagnosis of severe anxiety she had received. Her mind was an incessant battlefield. That was when a copy of one of Dr. Joseph Murphy's writings reached her hands. The sentence that transformed her perspective stated that the subconscious accepts what the conscious feels as true in the hour of stillness. Evelyn realized that she spent her nights feeding the monster of scarcity. Determined to change, she adopted the practice of absolute stillness. Every night before sleeping, she sat on the edge of her bed, closed her eyes, and applied the method we call here on the channel the Sanctuary of Stillness. She did not ask for money, she did not beg for health, and she did not plead for help. Instead of pouring desperate words out to the universe, she simply stilled her body and mentally repeated the word peace, letting the sound and feeling of that word flood every cell of her being. She reduced all her anguish to a single vibration of tranquility. In less than 3 weeks, the chest pain vanished completely. The following month, an old relative contacted her to offer a partnership in a prosperous business that not only cleared all her debts, but secured her financial stability for decades. Evelyn disarmed suffering not by fighting against it, but by withdrawing from it the nourishment of her own fear through spiritual silence. Say this out loud, or repeat it silently in your heart. The divine silence of my soul dissolves all my suffering now. The hidden mechanics of the deep mind work in a crystal clear way. Your conscious mind is like the captain of a ship in the middle of a dark storm. If the captain yells at the crew, runs from side to side in panic, and repeatedly says the ship is going to sink, the crew in the depths of the hold, which represents your subconscious, enters into despair and executes erratic commands. On the other hand, when the captain assumes the command post with serenity, looks at the horizon, and declares with authority that the sea will calm down, the deep engines of the ship return to operating with perfection and balance. Your suffering is nothing more than the signal that your inner captain has lost control to the noise of the world. You have been listening to bad news, other people's opinions, temporary bank balances, and physical symptoms, forgetting that the primary cause of all things resides in the invisible. If you wish to go deeper into the laws that govern the mind and learn to apply these decrees of power daily to transform your life, subscribe now to the Subconscious Code channel and turn on notifications. Here, we walk together on the journey of spiritual awakening and conscious prosperity. The Bible brings this fundamental truth brilliantly encoded in Psalm 46:10, when it declares, "Be still and know that I am God." Notice that the divine instruction does not say, "Fight desperately, cry until you can't take it anymore," or "Seek a solution through human effort." The first and indispensable instruction is, "Be still." As long as your soul is agitated by despair, the voice of infinite intelligence cannot be heard by you. The channel of communication will be blocked by the static of your own worries. The silence of the soul is the master key that opens the doors of the subconscious to the action of the healing presence. By stilling your thoughts, you send a clear signal to your deep mind that the battle is over and that victory is already yours. The subconscious receives this message of peace as a supreme command and immediately begins to reorganize your physical health, your finances, and your relationships to reflect that same order and harmony in your outer life. Say this out loud or repeat it silently in your heart. The peace of God governs my mind and blesses my life. The hidden mechanism that governs your destiny does not rest for a single second, and it responds strictly to the frequency of what you accept as absolute truth. When Dr. Joseph Murphy dedicated his life to the study of the human mind, he discovered that the universe is not governed by chance or luck, but by spiritual laws as exact and unalterable as the law of gravity itself. Among all these laws, there is a supreme principle that sustains the very structure of our existence: the law of correspondence between what dwells in the invisible of the mind and what materializes in the visible of the world. Most people spend years making the same tragic mistake. They try to change the harvest without ever changing the seed. They spend entire days complaining about financial scarcity, feeding feelings of rejection, and dwelling on past injustices, and then close their eyes at night expecting tomorrow to bring miracles. This is a spiritual impossibility. Your subconscious cannot deliver to you anything other than what you have impressed upon it with emotion and conviction. If your conscious mind spends the day immersed in the noise of material fears, it is precisely this static of pain that your subconscious will receive as a supreme command to design your next 24 hours. To understand how this mechanic operates in your routine, visualize your deep mind under the metaphor of a great movie projector. The physical world you see around you, your bank account, the reactions of your body, the attitudes of the people around you, is nothing more than the image projected on the great screen of your life. The problem is that most of humanity runs to the movie screen to try to tear, paint, or force the image to change. They fight with matter, wear down their health, and live in a constant state of exhaustion. However, the invisible projector, the film roll that determines every manifested scene, is located in the silent sanctuary of your subconscious mind. The moment you sit in the dark room of your being, slow down the waves of your consciousness, and alter the internal tape through silence, the image on the external screen is forced to change instantly. Matter is passive. Matter has no creative power of its own. It is merely the moldable reflection of the mental seeds you have cultivated in the secret of your spirit. When you learn to withdraw attention from problems and fix your consciousness on the stillness of the divine presence, the projector of your mind stops reproducing the dramas of the past and begins projecting scenes of absolute prosperity and healing. Say this out loud, or repeat it silently in your heart. The projector of my mind reflects only God's abundance. Dispel right now one of the greatest illusions humanity has carried across centuries: the erroneous belief that poverty or suffering possesses any spiritual value. Many people were taught to believe that pain is a test of virtue, or that enduring financial deprivation brings the soul closer to the Creator. Dr. Joseph Murphy dismantled this lie with crystal clarity. Scarcity is not a spiritual virtue. Scarcity is a disease of the mind. The infinite intelligence that created the universe knows no lack. Look at nature around you. A single tree produces thousands of seeds. The stars in the sky are countless. the oceans overflow with life. The entire creation is a continuous celebration of bounty and constructive excess. Therefore, when you accept financial limitation or emotional weariness as something inevitable, you are disconnecting yourself from your own divine origin. Money is not an evil in itself. Money is a neutral energy, a symbol of opulence and the circulation of life on the planet. Desiring it with wisdom and using it with gratitude is your birthright. Suffering only remains in your life as long as you continue feeding the fire of pain with the fuel of your anxious attention. When you stop fighting against lack and retreat into the silence of the soul, pain disintegrates for lack of nourishment. To help his students reach this state of liberation quickly and definitively, Dr. Joseph Murphy taught an exercise we call here on the channel the alignment of Supreme Stillness. This method consists of completely withdrawing your mind from physical senses before any important decision is made or before anxiety takes over your chest. Instead of reacting immediately to bad news, an unexpected bill, or a symptom of discomfort in the body, you should close your eyes for 3 minutes and visualize that an infinite ocean of peace exists just beneath the agitated surface of your emotions. By practicing the alignment of Supreme Stillness, you interrupt the automatic response of your nervous system and prevent the belief in evil from taking root in your subconscious. You assume the posture of a conscious observer, knowing that infinite intelligence already possesses the perfect solution to any human impasse before it even manifests. It was precisely by applying this stillness that men and women over decades reversed declared bankruptcies, restored shattered homes, and achieved miracles that logical science could never explain. They understood that silence is not the absence of action, but the highest level of mental power a human being can exercise. Say this out loud, or repeat it silently in your heart. I surrender my mind to the unwavering flow of peace. If this understanding is bringing clarity to your mind and illuminating your spirit, be sure to subscribe to the Subconscious Code channel and turn on the notification bell. Do not let this truth die here. Become part of our community of awakened minds and receive daily the keys to reprogram your subconscious. Always remember that your subconscious is infinitely faithful to the orders it receives from your conscious mind in the hour of silence. When you lie down to rest and allow the turmoil of the world to quiet down, you enter the most sacred sanctuary of your existence. It is there that blind faith gives way to spiritual science. You do not need to beg for a better future. You do not need to cry for compassion, and you do not need to plead for help as if you were abandoned in the universe. All you need is to claim your inheritance of peace with the serenity of one who knows that the cause of all things dwells within themselves. The stillness of your soul is the most powerful weapon in the universe. It disarms the traps of fear, dissolves the bonds of scarcity, and opens the doors of heaven so that prosperity, health, and infinite joy flow into your life in an uninterrupted and glorious way. Scientific prayer is not a desperate plea cast into the void, nor a painful supplication made to a distant God. It is the conscious and systematic attunement with the divine law that already dwells in the depths of your being. When you understand that the answer to your desire precedes the very formulation of your pain, the entire structure of your mind transforms. Dr. Joseph Murphy repeatedly insisted that to pray is to claim in the invisible that which you wish to see manifested in the visible. The subconscious mind does not respond to the intensity of your tears or the drama of your lamentations. It responds with mathematical precision to the quality of your inner belief and the firmness of your feeling in the hour of stillness. Close the eyes of your physical body for a moment and open the eyes of your spirit. Let the noise of worries, upcoming deadlines, and memories of pain dissolve completely right now. Take a deep breath and feel the healing and abundant presence flow through your consciousness. From this instant, we surrender our entire being to the infinite intelligence that dwells in the silent sanctuary of the soul. The divine presence that created my body, that sustains the visible and invisible worlds and governs the universe in perfect order, is the only source of all my supply, my peace, and my healing. I know with absolute conviction and crystal clarity that my subconscious mind is God's fertile soil within me. Every seed of peace, health, harmony, serenity, and abundance that I now deposit in my deep mind germinates in perfect order and beauty in my material reality. I completely forgive my past and everyone involved in it. I now release all memories of pain, all accumulated bitterness, unspoken grievances, and all old beliefs of scarcity that once imprisoned my soul. Resentment dissolves completely in the ocean of divine love. My soul is clean, serene, in absolute stillness, and open to receive the uninterrupted flow of all blessings. Infinite intelligence opens pathways where before there were only locked doors. Money and prosperity flow into my life constantly, freely, harmoniously, and abundantly, always serving as instruments of joy, expansion, and liberation. Perfect health dwells in every cell, every organ, every tissue, and every system of my physical body. Divine order governs sovereignly over my business, my home, my mind, and all my relationships. I do not fight against external circumstances, and I do not spend my energy combating matter. I sit in the stillness of my soul and contemplate my victory in advance. I give thanks from the bottom of my heart because I know that my request has already been answered in the dimension of the invisible and now manifests gloriously in my visible world, and so it is. Say this out loud or repeat it silently in your heart. Infinite intelligence now performs the miracle of my transformation. The constant reiteration of spiritual truth is the master key to the deep reprogramming of your existence. When you mentally repeat the reality of your inner power, you smooth out the grooves of fear that were carved into your brain by years of negative conditioning. Suffering only possesses the strength that your mental noise grants it. The moment you collect your conscious mind, refuse to accept the diagnoses of lack, and nestle into the stillness of the spirit, all chains of anxiety break like straw in the wind. Inner calm is the place where miracles are born. Understand your true nature. You are not a fragile victim of world circumstances, nor a boat adrift on the stormy ocean of material uncertainties. You are the direct heir of infinite intelligence, endowed with the supreme and inalienable power to shape your reality through the law of belief and inner tranquility. All the abundance of the universe belongs to you by right of creation, waiting only for your mind to quiet down to accept it. When night arrives and silence settles over your room, prepare to execute your most sacred moment of the day. Lie down comfortably, turn off the noise of the external environment, and close your eyes with serenity. Do not review debts, do not bring bitter conversations of the day to bed, and do not feed doubts about tomorrow. The day has ended, and matter will rest. Gently place your right hand over the center of your chest, feel your heartbeat slow down, and feel your breathing become deep and rhythmic. Repeat just one word like a lullaby for your deep mind: peace, peace. Let your subconscious absorb this supreme feeling as you drift peacefully off to sleep, allowing God's wisdom to work on rebuilding your body, your life, and your finances during the hours of your rest. If this message touched your heart and brought the light of clarity to your soul, leave your like on this video and subscribe to the Subconscious Code channel. By subscribing, you unite your energy with our community of awakened minds, strengthening the great chain of enlightenment, peace, and prosperity. Also, leave your affirmation of victory in the comments to seal this commitment with the universe. May the peace of God continue governing your mind and abundantly blessing every step of your journey.